All right. Welcome to my first episode, Spilling with Lee, and we're going to dive right into Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 16, and we're talking about the Nashville trip. All right, so let's go. Let's recap and let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know what I can do better. But we're gonna recap, and I'm gonna give you some of my commentary. Okay, so we open up the scene with Britt and Michael. Yeah. So Britt, I'm gonna let you know if you're a Britt fan, you're probably not gonna like me that much because I am not feeling her at all, and I'm not one of those teen Kenya, Team Twirl people. I like Kenya, but I feel like what she did was completely wrong, like completely wrong. But I'm not feeling Brit. So her opening up the scene, her and her husband, Michael, the energy there is still, there's something off there, but we'll see how this unpacks and plays out. But he's apparently buying her a new car. And she starts off talking about how the engine should feel like or sound like sex or something like that. It's just really interesting that she decides to use sex connotations after everything that's just happened. And I mean, she's talking about how her reputation has to be squeaky clean to be in the insurance world, and yet she raises her leg up in front of the salesperson and proceeds to talk about every car you should be able to have sex in any car or something like that. So, I mean, she's just not aligned. Like what she picks and chooses who she wants to be and how she wants to show up and how she wants people to think of her, but then her actions say something different. I'm not feeling Brit. The scene was off. Didn't like it. Oh. So now we move on to Angela and Drew. So, and I like Angela. I want to like her more, and I'm hoping she gets another season where she can kind of clean up a little bit of how she shows up, because she's showing off a little disheveled, uncomfortable, like she needs to settle into who she is and own how she wants to show up and be okay with it. Because I think there's a place for her on the show, but she is just coming off a little clunky and just unpolished. So I just want her to polish up. And I think she has the capability of doing that. I think she's just in a league where she's trying to kind of catch up a little bit. So anyway, they're at Angela's house. Drew comes over, which I do not like Drew. I've tried to like her. I think she is, I hate to call someone a liar, but she has a lot of untruths around her. And I just think she is just not authentic. So I am not a big Drew fan, but I'm going to try to review this fairly, but also just give my own commentary because that's the point of the show, right? What we're doing here. So Angela and Drew. I love Drew's little bag. Very expensive bag for someone who is complaining about paying a exterminator bill for $100. And I get it. It's probably the principle of the whole thing of just, if her husband is supposed to be covering everything, I get it. But I think production actually did that on purpose to actually show that same point. Like, because they very rarely on Real Housewives of Atlanta show the price of things or show off any type of luxury like that. This season, I think they're doing a little bit more because of Shamia, but I think they did that specifically with Drew because of the divorce proceedings and because of her arguing about a $100 exterminator bill. So anyway, so she comes in with the very expensive purse, and her and Angela are talking. They get into right away one of the reasons why I don't like Drew. Angela mentioned that she talked to Marcus Jordan, who is Michael Jordan's son, and asked if they were cousins. Because remember, she said in a previous episode that she was cousins with Michael Jordan, that her maiden name was Jordan. And it's a lie. It's not true. Drew quickly says, "Oh, I was just kidding. It was a joke." She did not say that. So I almost feel like she has some type of mental disorder because I'm like, Drew, do you not think people are going to fact check this? Or do you think you could just say things and people aren't going to remember or circle back to it? It's just bizarre. Like, do you know what you're doing? Like, why? Why lie? Why lie? Like, we can find it out. So anyway, oh, Drew. So anyway, so Angela and Drew are having a nice sit down. Um, I found it really interesting. They talked about the peace brunch a little bit, and I was surprised how Angela threw shade to Kelly, talking about how the food wasn't good. I'm like, why? Like, I think Kelly is so cool. I'm sure there's going to be stuff about her that I don't like that's going to come up, but overall, I think she's a cool girl. So I'm kind of like, Angela, why are you throwing shade towards Kelly? Like, you didn't have to do that. Her food is how she makes a living. So why would you put that out there like that? So anyway, she called it dry and all of that. So didn't like that vibe at all. But I like the fact that Angela and Drew were sitting down together and talking and catching up and things like that. So hopefully there's a little bit of a friendship there, even if I'm not feeling Drew. I mean, she has to have somebody on the show that she's actually friends with. So we'll see how this plays out. Then we see a very short clip with Kelly and her sister Camilla. I think that's how you pronounce her name. They're at Kelly's house, and Kelly is starting to have some people come in to her house, I guess, for just a get together. So Portia comes by. So that was nice to see again, because I think Kelly's a girl's girl, and I really like seeing her and her different friendships. And even when she throws shade, she does it in kind of a fun way. Like, I don't sense maliciousness from Kelly. And then we also see Portia comes in, and then Shamia comes in. And I we're going to talk about Shamia in probably another episode. I like Shamia. I really do. I think Shamia, and this happens with everyone, but I think again, your first episode, there's you have a lot of cleaning up you need to do afterwards to really come with your best. I've never seen any housewife their first episode have it completely together. And Shamia is sometimes I think she's team two, do too much. Her fashions, although I'm sure how much she pays for her clothes are a lot. So there's probably really nice clothes, but something about the way she puts herself together is a little dated. I think she needs a stylist. Um, so anyway, but she's a pretty girl, so it's not that. It's just she has something about pulling her whole look together is off for me. So anyway, so we're seeing that, and then Kelly and the dog thing. I know we're gonna hear a lot about that. She has dyed her dog's hair because her dog was stolen, and she wants to make sure it never happens again. So she dyed her dog's hair. So be prepared to hear some pushback on that. All right. So then we see Britt and Michael talking again about her reputation and her insurance agency and being annoyed with Angela about even questioning. And really, in that last week's scene, I don't even think Angela was coming from a place of being shady. I think Angela was just like, hey, I know the industry, like, are you sure they're trying to do that to you? Or let me help you fight it back because that's not right. So I think it was a little bit of that until she sensed that Angela was lying or looking for sympathy. And then she's just like, girl, like, stop doing too much as usual. I mean, Britt should just be known as doing too much because she's always doing too much. So anyway, so Britt and Michael are talking more about their everything going on with her insurance agency and her reputation, which again does not align. Because honestly, if you were in an industry where it that was so critical, you would not be on the show. It kind of reminds me of Tanya Sam. As soon as things got weird with her reputation and Portia and doing all this stuff, she was out because she knows she had a career. She has a career and a very good reputation in the Atlanta area. And so I think she knew I'm not jeopardizing that. And this show will bring all kinds of, situations where it could. And so she just checked out. So, Britt, if you really have a career that it's that dependent on your reputation, you would not have signed up to be on this show. So, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. So, anyway, then we see Portia talking about the Nashville trip. So, full disclosure, I live in Nashville, so I am a Nashville girl. I love me some Nashville. Great city, great place. Just moved to Nashville from Atlanta. So I have both perspectives. And yes, Nashville is a fun city, lots to do, and perfect for a girls' trip. So, so they're prepping for that, and she's announcing and getting ready to invite her friends and a few people from the cast. Of course, Drew was not invited, so we're going to circle back to that. So we also see a clip of Kelly teaching her daughter Chloe how to drive, which I thought was such a cute scene. And again, it just reiterates how much I really like Kelly. Kelly is a mother of four girls. Like that is no joke. That is a full-time job. Plus she has businesses. Plus she's doing the show. Plus it seems like she shows up as a good friend consistently. Plus I think she always looks great. So I feel like Kelly is doing the dang on thing. So I really like Kelly. And I like that little segment of her and her daughter learning how to drive. So that's really cute. Um, then we saw a very small clip of Shamia in the studio. Again, I love Shamia. I think she has a great work ethic. I think it seems that she even has just great character. So I just can't figure out what it is that I'm not feeling about her. So I'm gonna keep watching and let's keep unpacking that. Next, we see Angela talking to her sons about her nose job, which I thought was really interesting because I'm like, how do they know so much about her nose job? So anyway, she kind of explains what happens with that. And I like Angela. So I actually kind of feel for her. Like she did some cosmetic surgery that kind of went wrong. And that honestly could happen to anybody and now she's having to pay the price for it. And I mean, actually, I think she looks great. So I don't know why people keep talking about it. Like, girl, like, but I love that she's owning it. And she's talking about it and like taking the power away. Like, you guys ain't gonna be talking about my nose all season. Like, let me tell you what happened. So I kind of like that she took that approach. Um, then we again start hearing more about the Nashville trip. So Cynthia and Portia are talking about what they need to get. Of course, you got to get some cowboy boots and a hat and all the things. I had my bachelorette party in Nashville. And so my girls all got their cowboy hats and their boots as well. So it was a great time. But anyway, going back, um, so Cynthia and Portia are talking about that, and then we kind of talk a little bit about Simon and the divorce, and Cynthia in her always awkward way trying to bring up a topic that I'm sure the producers told her to bring up to start talking about. And Portia touched on it, but she did not go all the way there. I'm sure like they were expecting or hoping it would go. But you can tell it tried to be like a forced conversation. It just didn't work. Then we have dinner with Drew and Britt. OMG. So, two of my least favorite people, two of the narcissists on the show having dinner. two narcissists talking to each other. It was mind blowing. So, but it was interesting because Drew was probably again sent there to get some tea, and she did get some. So I'll respect that. She's much more, it looks much more natural for her to dig in and get tea than it does for Cynthia. So, anyway, so we saw that happening where during this dinner, um, we see Drew asking, she came out and said, "Have you sold the cat?" So it was kind of shocking. I'm like, I had to rewind it. Like, did I hear what I just heard? So it was really good. So they and Britt was being, forthcoming, it seems like, and just talking about her reality. Again, does not match. You have this whole insurance agency and have to have this pristine, um, pristine reputation, and then you've done all this in the past and you're talking about it on the show. It's just something's not right. But also with this whole conversation, Drew talking about, I just want to get real answers from Britt. Girl, who are you to get real answers from anybody? Because you are a pretty much a known liar. Like, you lie and breathe together. Like, it's one and the same for you. So for her to just feel like she has to get some answers, it was just, come on, like, stop. Um, so she did ask about, has she sold it? Did she make money from it? All the things. So that was really interesting. And then again, I just don't like Drew. Then she starts talking about how she thinks she knows the dick that was in the pictures. Like, what, girl? Say that again. Like, that makes no sense. And then proceeded to tell people. But I'm so glad that Britt called her out on that. Like, what are you talking about? And why would you? And okay, again, liar, Drew. Her response is, "Oh, I just like to joke a lot. I was just joking." Like, girl, that was not a joke, and it wasn't even funny. You were not joking. You wanted attention. Again, narcissist wanted attention. So she talked about, she recognized the dick in the picture and she thinks she knows the person who it belonged to, and she couldn't remember, doesn't want to say the name. It was a joke, blah, 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 blah. Girl, stop, 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 stop. So, so anyway, that was really, 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 really annoying. So I'm looking at my notes. Then we go to the court proceedings with Drew and Ralph. Again, more lies, more lies. So Ralph it's just blowing my mind how much screen time they're giving Ralph when you think about Kenya got no confessionals or anything. It is really like completely not fair. So Drew really wanted three things to happen. Ralph's financial documents showing exactly how much he makes, because we all want to know what do you do, first of all, and what do you make? Because the fact that she's trying to get child support from him and he's responsible for all the bills. And Drew is a bona fide like actress, singer. She's on a reality show, and I mean, I'm kind of confused about the money dynamics in this relationship. So anyway, financial documents, and also for Ralph to get out of the house, and then for the divorce records she wants to keep them sealed. We're going to come back to that. All right. So we see all of the courts, or I don't know, where was Drew's attorney. Oh, yes, we did see a clip of Drew's attorney talking about and reviewing, but that was in a previous visit. So they didn't show the attorney during this courtroom proceeding. So I'm hoping she went in with an attorney, and because that was kind of odd that we didn't see any kind of communication that day with her attorney. So fast forward, they ended up, Ralph got everything he wanted. The divorce records will be unsealed. He gets to stay in the house. And I believe, I can't remember the financial documents. I believe that he still has not produced all of them. So that has to be forthcoming because to get a divorce, you're going to have to do that. So, but the two major things. So Drew was unsettled with this unsealing of the divorce records. So, which leads me to believe, and you see the producer kind of asking Drew why she, in a weird kind of way, why she was so upset or why it was so important for her to have the divorce records sealed. And she's like, oh, I'm just trying to protect Ralph. It's for Ralph's protection. She doesn't care about protecting Ralph. So that's a lie. So, why was she so protective of those proceedings, those divorce records, right? The only explanation that I can think of is that Drew cheated on him. Like there's something that she has done that she does not want to get out. And it makes sense because Ralph said the one misconception that he wants to clear up is that he did not care about his wife. So I think he wants the divorce records unsealed so that he can show that, look, she was unfaithful. You know, this is not all on me. I wasn't just this horrible husband gaslighting and treating her badly. She was cheating on me. And I think that's going to come out, and maybe even some other financial stuff. So I meant to go and look and see if I can find anything. And so I'll be back about that because if this was a year ago, those divorce records should be out. All right. We go to Nashville, Nashville, country western, capital of the world. Fun city, but listen, there's a lot more than country western in Nashville. And if you know anything about country western, um, black music and blues and R&B, all those things are directly coming out of the black culture. So it was awesome to see it, and I love Nashville. So trip to Nashville, of course, of course. Angela misses her flight. I'm like, Angela, I just need you to do better. I need you to do better. I need you to get yourself together, girl. So I just want her to just pull it together. She just always looks like she's behind and her hair is never quite right and she's hot and it just pull it together. Pull it together. You need a team to help you. So she misses her flight. But they're talking about the Nashville trip, all of the girls, and Portia's going to have, and this is Portia's birthday. So keep that in mind. It's Portia's birthday. And so she's also having some of her other girlfriends come in for the day. So they're talking about and getting excited about the birthday trip. So they're at the table chatting, eating. They come to this beautiful house in Nashville. The house is beautiful. And I must say, Nashville has some beautiful homes. Like any city, definitely has beautiful homes, but Nashville has many beautiful homes because there are a lot of country singers, publishers, writers, managers, the whole industry. A lot of them live here in Nashville. It's also known as one of the publishing capitals of the world. So Nashville has a lot going on. So beautiful home, they're all getting settled. They go through the room selections and all of that. And I love that Kelly and Angela kind of took it. They didn't take it too personal, not get a great room. So that was cool. We see Shamia getting her room again. She can just be cringy sometimes. Like she's all over the bed. And even her outfit is, I'm like, what are you wearing exactly? She has an amazing body. So I'm just like, girl, what are you wearing? So anyway, um, so we see them getting settled into house. They're talking at the table, eating, having a good time, beautiful home. And then we see Angela finally shows up. We see her in the airport getting in a car again. Just come on, girl, let's get it together. Angela arrives at the house. She talks about how her luggage has broken and it was falling all out. Angela, first of all, I would have told somebody to stop on the way to the house. I'm buying me some new luggage because you clearly should have the money, some nice new luggage, and I would walk in there looking like $1 million. I'm gonna be late, but y'all gonna be like, "Oh, okay, I see why you was late, you girl. You looking good." That's not the vibe she gave at all. So she comes in and they get settled a little bit. She's trying to get herself together, and then she brings up Drew. Basically, this girl has invited Drew to Portia's birthday weekend. Like, who does that? That was not cool at all. Like, girl, I can see if it was just a normal weekend and she's like, oh, I just want Drew to be here. It's a girls' weekend, you know, just a regular getaway. But no, this is Portia's birthday. Like, how dare you invite her up to her birthday weekend in the house? Like, not cool. And she mentioned that Portia had mentioned that she could coexist with Drew, which is fine, but that does not mean on my birthday, on her weekend. Like, that was wrong, Angela. And I'm sure someone put you up to it, but you could have came with a little bit of better how you presented that whole situation. And she's going to stand 10 toes down in this as the episode progresses, that she didn't feel like she did anything wrong with inviting Drew, and she hates to see a group of women talk about one girl like that. Girl, this is Housewives of Atlanta. What did you think they was going to do? Like, that's the whole premise of the show. So if your thing is you can't stand to see anybody talk about somebody, then get off the show. Like, my thing is, have y'all watched the show? Because that's how the show operates. All right. So she has invited Drew. Portia is not happy about it. And then she kind of like says, well, I'm just gonna live with it. I'm not gonna let her get her vibe, I'm not gonna let this mess with my vibe and all of that. So I'm like, okay, girl. So we'll see next episode how this all unpacks. Um, so let's see. Angela and Portia again going back and forth about the Drew situation. Um, and let's see. Then it gets into Drew and Dennis again. And somebody, I don't know who shouts it out, but they say like Drew sucked his Dennis's dick. I'm like, what? And then you could see Britt like, that's so inappropriate. Britt, pick a side. Pick who you are going to be. Pick a side. Um, and then so Portia talks a little bit about how Dennis is. Like, she knows this man. She knows what he's capable of. She knows what he likes. And she's like, I know what he liked. And if she's in his life like that, it has happened. So anyway, so that was an interesting way to kind of end the episode. And so I'm sure next week we will see Drew coming to Nashville and this unpacking with the whole Portia and Drew dynamic, which I'm like not feeling it because I'm just not feeling it. It's just like this is not a good storyline for me, and I think it is that Portia has to have a storyline, and with Simon, it looks like she doesn't want to touch on the divorce stuff too much and the Simon of it all. So they're kind of leaning into the Dennis thing, or I can't tell if she wants to talk about it or not want to talk about it. I'm not clear on that, but we're going to keep watching it and seeing what happens. Okay. So this was my first episode unpacking. How did I do, y'all? Make sure you like, comment, let me know, subscribe, all the things. And I'm going to come back and talk about some other things happening in pop culture and reality TV, and maybe even unpack the whole Kenya confessional and see what you all think about that. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me for my first episode, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye.